In this video, we will discuss about how we take inputs from a user and how the values are printed on the screen in Python. To get input from the user, we use the input function. To print the output on the screen, the print function is used. For example, variable x is used to store the value entered by the user. The input function has a string directing user to enter a number. The print function is used to print the value entered by the user. After the text string number enter is, we can use a comma followed by the variable x to print its value. Formatting the output. We can even format the output string printed on the screen using the format method. This is usually done to make the output look more attractive and presentable. The curly braces are used as a placeholder to insert the values in between the strings. We can also specify the order of these variables by putting index numbers inside the curly braces, which acts as a placeholders. In the example below, two variables are declared as x equals 10 and y equals 20. The first print is the normal way of formatting the output without the format operator, where we can use comma or plus operator to join the strings. In the second print statement, format x, y is used. This means that the value of x will go into the first curly braces and the value of y will go to second curly braces. The values of x and y in this case are substituted in the same way it's declared in the print statement. If we want to place the values in different order than what's mentioned in the format function, then we can use the index number inside curly braces as it's done in the third print statement. The value of x will go to index value 0 and value of y will go to index value 1. Let's test the input and output using a program. In the program, a variable x is declared, which is taking input from the user. To get input, we need to use the input method. Print statements are added to print the value of x on the screen. There are two ways in which the print statements can be added. In the first print statement, after the string, the number entered is, we are using a common with variable x. In the second print statement, we are using a plus operator for joining the string and variable x together. Once executed, we can see that it's asking user to input a number. The number 11 is entered by the user. We can see the value is getting printed for both the print statements. The only difference that we see here is that when we are using comma, there is a space between the string and number. But when we are using plus operator, there is no space between the string and the number entered by the user. So if we use a plus operator, we need to give a single space manually so that our output look pretty and we can clearly differentiate between string and variable x, adding an extra space at the end of the string. Once executed again, we can see that the output is now same in both the cases. Commenting the code. If we want more than one input from the user, then we can use two variables, and we can store the values separately. We can have two input statements, one after another, as it was done previously. Or we can ask the user to input two numbers at the same time. For getting two or more input from the user, we can use a split method to split the input which is provided by the user. as can be seen here. Two variables x and y is declared separated by a comma and asking use to enter two numbers, which will be separated by the split method and stored separately in variable x and y. Two print statements are added. The first print statement has the string and variable separated by a comma. The second print statement is using a format method to substitute the value of x and y in the string. Curly braces are used to substitute the values. Once executed, it asks user to enter two values. Once entered, we get an error message as the variable name are not correctly mentioned. Correcting the variable names and re-executing again. We see that the output is same using both the print statements. So these are the different ways in which we can do input and output operations in Python.